senior at RHS. I would like to start by saying that it is an honor to be here. Unlike many of the other fellow people at the club, I did not grow up at the Boys and Girls Club, but my experiences here have been worth a lifetime. I started volunteering at the club the summer before my sophomore year of high school. It was during a very rough period of my life where I often felt alienated and alone. When I started, I was slightly apprehensive, but when I stepped into my first leader in training meeting over the summer, I immediately felt welcomed. I knew I had entered an environment filled with kindness and love. That was one of the best summers of my life. It was my second year when I realized the true meaning of the club and its importance. This life-changing message came in the form of a little girl. You may assume that this girl was so important to me because we immediately connected, but that was not the case. In fact, I was pretty frustrated with her after she insisted on washing her hands in a drinking fountain on a field trip. While I was caught up in my exasperation, I never stopped to consider that there was a reason for her actions. I quickly found out that this sweet, energetic girl had come from a difficult past. At 6 years old, she was learning to navigate the world and work through struggles many of us couldn't begin to comprehend. When I heard about this, I was filled with guilt. But guilt can be an opportunity, as we have either the choice to suffer through it or turn it into something powerful. I spent the rest of the summer getting to know this girl, and I am proud to say that she has become one of my heroes. She motivates me to become a better person and exemplifies the club's purpose, which is to help every kid realize their potential by giving them a community that pushes them to be their best. The Boys and Girls Club is also that place for me. Every day I walk in, I am improving myself so I can be a better role model and leader. The lessons the club kids have taught me follow me throughout my everyday life as well, as I strive to do everything with compassion and understanding. Working my way up as a volunteer to staff, my mission has always been to give all of those kids the same feelings of safety and love I felt when I walked in on that first day. The club has given me a place where I feel accepted no matter what, and now it is up to me to repay all of my mentors, Jeff Goncalves, Kristen Goncalves, Jess, Mike Flynn, by continuing this legacy. I thank the club for embracing me even though I had not been there my whole life, and for empowering me to be the leader I am today. Whether it be implementing projects or something as simple as becoming a trusted staff member for a kid who just needs a friend, I promise to pay everything the club has done for me forward. Thank you so much for listening to me tonight. I am truly grateful. And thank you to the club for everything it has taught me. You all inspire me, and your example will follow me throughout my life. I will always work to make you proud.
Yes, okay. I wanted to start out by saying thank you to everyone who is here supporting everything that we do at the Boys and Girls Club of Ridgefield. For those who don't know, my name is Annie Cousins, and I was the Boys and Girls Club's 2020 Youth of the Year. I am honored to be here today to speak about how instrumental the club has been to my well-being, as well as the well-being of countless families in Ridgefield. I've been coming to the club for the past 13 years, and can proudly say that it has impacted my life in many ways, more than I can tell you in a short amount of time. To give you a brief summary, I am the youngest of 5 club kids, all of whom have grown up at the club. Of course, I had to follow in my big brother's footsteps, and I officially became a club member when I was 6 years old. And just like them, I never left. In fact, 3 of us still work at the club today. I could stand here and try to explain the impact that the club has had on our family, but we'd probably be here all night long. Instead, I want to talk about how the club has been there for me when I was at my worst. In the 7th grade, I began to feel the impacts that a long line of depression and anxiety in my family brought. I felt broken, unmotivated, and had very little will to live. I never remembered the physical reason to why I was broken. It stemmed mentally. Negative thoughts flooded in daily, from unsure thoughts of my ability to a lack of confidence that I saw in my actions. I saw my differences as things that I had to change, rather than things that I would later learn to accept in my life. I learned from a young age to hold my emotions in, believing that it wasn't okay, that it wasn't logical to have these feelings as young as I was, allowing myself to fall into the stigma. I thought I would be rejected and that people would believe I was lying. I learned to fake the smile and to place my focus on others rather than myself. I put the work in front of myself, and I would face the consequence when nights turned to sitting in the dark, and weekends consisted of staying in my bed till the afternoon, crying for no particular reason other than that I was a failure to myself and others. This was my normal, and I continued to do it until high school, where I saw things only get worse. My junior year was when these feelings took the better of my integrity. In late April to May, I saw everything fall apart before my eyes. At a time in my life that seemed picture perfect from the outside, every piece of me inside was shattered. I saw my normal A's turn to B's and C's, and I saw my motivation for school drop. My hours spent doing homework were traded in for blocking my mind with anything that would make me more upset. I saw my confidence drop to an all-time low, and I didn't know what was happening. Suicidal thoughts hit me like a ton of rocks, and with every problem that I faced, I always turned to ending my life. I saw myself as a person of no meaning, a person who deserved no love, and one who had no purpose in the world. My life crumbled before me, but I held it in, and for 2 months straight, I contemplated a way out of my problems and my life. You may ask, why did I never seek help? I asked myself the same. Why did I put myself through this misery when I knew people could help me? Why did I never tell my parents, my friends, my brothers, anyone? People told me they cared, but I didn't believe them. I got caught up in how telling others would change the way I was viewed, and I believed they would think I was lying since I've always been the type of person to be happy and carefree. I thought enclosing my feelings was the only way out, keeping things normal, bringing no pain onto others. Thankfully, I saw a breakthrough months later though, and for that, I can proudly thank the Boys and Girls Club of Ridgefield. In June, on a Saturday where my bed was my only plan, I looked around and found an envelope of letters. These letters were from 3 fifth grade girls who attended summer camp at the club. I remember reading these letters, reading lines that said, "You made this summer amazing. We love you, Annie, and you were the best junior staff." In the end, I cried, but not because I was sad, but because in a time where I thought I had lost my purpose in the world, I finally saw that I had one. To protect the club kids, my friends, and everyone else at the club. To make sure, above all, that they never felt the way I was feeling. That's my purpose. This pushed me to talk to someone. This would come to be the first time I'd actually spoken to someone about the pain I was experiencing. And little did I know, I saw that I was not alone, that I was not purposeless, and that I had real friends. Little did I know also that the people I trusted to open up to were those who tended the Boys and Girls Club, who were supportive, listened, and comforted me. In a matter of a month, I found 4 people who above all cared about my well-being, and showed me what true friendship was in a time where I believed I couldn't find it. They gave me a new support system, one I never knew I could find, and pushed me to share my feelings, not hide them away. As the months went on, I began to see myself open up more about my mental health and grow stronger. This was until the spring of 2020, when my senior year came to a halting stop due to COVID-19. For my family and I, COVID impacted us all in many ways. With my mother being a frontline nurse at Norwalk Hospital, it was hard to have her come home every day and not be able to hug her out of the worry that we would get sick. And every day we watched her leave and would worry she herself would get sick and possibly not return home. As I still struggled with anxiety and depression, it felt like I was in a constant loop of worry. However, just like they saved me countless times before, the Boys and Girls Club stepped in. They truly were the only thing that kept me going as those weeks turned into months. The club and its staff worked tirelessly every day to provide virtual programs for our members, whether this be homework help, sports challenges, or Zoom open talk sessions. For me, having the ability to work with my brothers and create videos for the club members was revealing, and allowed for me to have some sense of normalcy. More so, when COVID got worse and my mother tested positive, the club Zoom sessions gave me a space to talk about my stress and escape from the stress of my home life. Last summer, our club had the opportunity to open its doors for a limited number of members and staff. Being selected as one of the staff to work was a sigh of relief, as it provided me with a sense of normalcy that I so needed. But it was more than that. Working this past summer gave me the opportunity to help the members who were truly having the hardest time during COVID, more so than I was. Seeing the members on the first day and how happy they were to be back at the club is a moment that I will always choose to remember, as I realized what the club means to so many. what we all have in common. The club is our safe place. In the fall, when it came time for me to leave for the University of Rhode Island, I began to have second thoughts about going to school during the pandemic. I knew that things would not be the same, and I wasn't sure how to handle it mentally. Within the first month, I saw my fears become reality, and I felt isolated in my dorm room. I quickly became homesick, and I found it hard to make friends with other people. Those deep, dark thoughts I felt slowly came creeping back in, and at times I felt helpless. The club and its staff became essential to my well-being, and whenever times got hard, they were the first people I would call, truly sometimes before my own family. They were quick to offer advice, and it allowed me to see a familiar face, even if it was virtual. When I decided to transfer to Fairfield University to be closer to home, the club staff were there for me every step of the way, and they were the first to congratulate me when I was accepted. Now, being home as a commuter student, the club continues to allow me to work after school with the younger members, something I am beyond grateful for. And now, I know I am exactly where I'm meant to be. The Boys and Girls Club has been the key to my success and growth as an individual. Without their constant support and love, I would never have been able to grow into the leader I am today, let alone make it through high school. I am so grateful for everything they have done for me throughout the past 13 years, and I know that I am forever grateful to call myself a Boys and Girls Club kid. Thank you.